Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. John, first things first. How does things sound? It sounds shit. I knew it would. I knew. Yabby.
Do they know places where we go, where we create all I have been so. Are we back now?
We should be back now. We should be back now. Let me just test my own audio. We should. Yeah, we go. There we go. Hey, how is everyone doing? How is everyone? Must do this audio thing on purpose. No, we are aware now that it can happen, and I've tinkered with the settings. I don't know what it is. It's nothing to do with my RTX. It's definitely something to do in Streamlabs. So I keep tinkering stuff. But yeah, I do know that when I basically restart Streamlabs without killing it, that kicks it back to life. But you can still hear Bibby through his end, which is why he just graciously managed to keep you all going with a bit of Robbie Williams. I mean, some people thought, I can tell in the chat, some people thought Robbie Williams was actually here. Actually, is that an insult or is that?
Just in case.
But anyway, good morning everyone. How are we all doing today? Welcome into twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads. My name is Graham. This is not Robbie Williams. This is Bibby, the Italian Batman. If you don't know what that means, is we have a sub, Danny Day. 12 months, one whole year. Cheers, babe. Hey, another year on the channel. Thank you very much, babe. But yeah, Bibby is the Italian Batman because his dressing gown looks a little bit like the Stallone Italian Stallion one, the Rocky one, or the Batman one. It actually is the Batman, so he's the Italian Batman. There you go. There you go. Daniel, thank you very much for the host as well, dude. Cheers. Thank you very much for being in here as well. Hair Crocodile, who was in early, says, hello, Mr. Robots. Do you know what? Yeah. I just, some reason, knew it was going to be happening. That's why I didn't even go into the intro. I just thought I'd mention it straight off the bat. So at least we got it out of the way quick. That's nice. Nice. Salty Dog, good morning. Kevlar, loving Bibby's singing, clearly. They're not like this. But yeah, it absolutely is something that we do on purpose just to prop up Bibby's singing career. That's what it is. That's what it is. When it's, yep. I mean, when you're one of those people that goes to your local working man's club and then belts out like angels at 10:30 on a Friday night, well, business has gone to shit at the moment. So this is the grind. This is the daily grind now. Gary Clark says, morning Shaggers, morning Mr. GC, how's things? Bibby with a bit of Robbie Williams on a Monday morning. No, Robbie Williams with a bit of Bibby. It was. I mean, Bibby doesn't do a bit of anyone else. Other people do a bit of him. I mean, Chuck Norris ain't got nothing on this. But yes, anyway, welcome in. How are we all doing? Bit of a busy news day today, so no beating around the bush. We'll jump straight into it. If you don't know what we are gonna do here, this is the scoop. But my name's Graham. This is Bib. We are Ice Cream Uploads, and in true ice creamy fashion, this is your scoop, your daily dose of news from the world of video games and beyond. We're going to give you our thoughts and impressions on the biggest, the best, and the breaking stories from the world of video games. And we want your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions. And we do this each and every single weekday on twitch.tv/Ice Cream Uploads live at 10 a.m. ish. Obviously there's a big ish since it's 11:15, but this isn't our day job, so it just fits in where it is. That's why. Anyway, it's important that if you're in the chat, you use your voice. If you're here, please feel free to drop in, even if it's just say hello, but feel free to drop in with your thoughts and impressions on our thoughts and impressions as we go through the news stories, because we turn this into a podcast, a video for YouTube, and an audio podcast on iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, and Google Play. So if you're in the chat, please feel free to use your voice on behalf of everyone listening on demand a little bit later on. Before we jump into the news, though, we have a few talking points for you. The first one is we are closing in on 2,000 followers. And as I say that, we get a raid coming in. Yeah! Mr. Tharian Drake, how is your day going? Everyone from Mr. Drake Stream, welcome in to the chat. Please feel free to use your voice. How are we all doing? I'm assuming you've all been enjoying some more Conqueror's Blade. I'm always going to assume it's Conqueror's Blade, but yeah. Hey, welcome in. Thank you very much for the raid. Massively appreciate it. Bib with the 20 months.
Tharian the Shagger.
Dedicated to Mr. Tharian the Shagger. Hey. Hey. Oh, it's all going on this morning. It's all going on. Okay, I've completely lost my train of thought. What was I saying? I don't know. That was it. We're just about to hit 2k followers. We're not far off it, and when we do, we will give away a bunch of prizes. We already have a few of those secured, so our next milestone giveaway is going to be a good one. So if you want to get involved, if you want to be a part of those videos, those giveaways, all you need to do is follow the channel. That's it. Nice and easy. Also, we are doing a sub-only giveaway as well, which is increases your odds of winning. That's something we do each and every single month with the loot drop. And this month, let me type it in the chat for you. FIFA 21. There we go. FIFA 21 is the giveaway for this month's loot drop. But as well as that, let me just do ! 2K. That is the bigger one that we're going to have for everyone to get involved with. So those will be coming soon. Once we hit 2K, we will start to roll that out. Just to let you know. Just to let you know. Anyway, enough of trying to give a little bit back to you guys. Let's jump into the news. An interesting one to begin the day. Oh, my whole lighting's all gone skew-iff because of the raid. Let me change it. Whoomp. There we go. Everything's back to normal. Everything's back to normal. Okay, jumping into the first news story of the day. This one I didn't expect. Didn't expect at all, as Andy Robinson for VGC says, PS4 games are reportedly having their load times drastically improved ahead of PS5. The Last of Us was recently patched along with other first-party titles. So PlayStation 4's The Last of Us Remastered has reportedly had its load times drastically improved by a recent patch. As detailed in a new video embedded below, Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Remastered's initial load screen now lasts just 14 seconds on the PS4 after a recent patch, compared to over a minute pre-update. According to another video, first-party title Until Dawn has also seen its loading screens virtually removed entirely. However, it's unclear how authentic this claim is, as there's no evidence of the game being patched recently. Multiple first-party PS4 games have been quietly updated in recent weeks, including God of War and God of War 3 Remastered. It's been claimed possibly in preparation for backwards compatibility support on PS5. Many of these updates to legacy PS4 titles can be seen on Orbis Patches, a site which tracks PlayStation 4 game updates, including a recent patch for first-party title Concrete Genie. While the majority of the updates simply reference bug fixes in their notes, it's claimed that by looking at the files through a hex editor, references to PS5 can be seen. It's been speculated that the updates could be introducing new compression techniques in addition to preparing support for PlayStation 5, but this is not confirmed and would likely result in huge downloads. Speed of access is one of the flagship features of PS5, with the console's high bandwidth SSD able to achieve access speeds of 5.5 gigabytes per second. It also has a hardware unit dedicated to decompressing files, which should result in even faster loading. Sony has claimed that the overwhelming majority of the 4,000 PS4 games on PS5... okay, that's all separate stuff. Or is it? No, actually, no, it's fine. It's still going. Okay, fine. I thought we were going back on a bit of a tangent, but we'll keep going. Sony has claimed that the overwhelming majority of the 4,000 plus PS4 games are playable on PS5. However, it notes that some functionalities that were available on the PS4 console may not be available on PS5 consoles, and some PS4 games may exhibit errors or unexpected behavior. Select PS4 games will also benefit from the PS5 console's Game Boost, which may make PS4 games run with a higher or smoother frame rate. For example, Ghost of Tsushima will utilize PS5 Game Boost to support frames up to 60 FPS. Oh no, it isn't actually. It's still just talking about other bits as opposed to the PS4. Okay, we will pause there. It's jumping away from the initial subject line. Let me jump into this. Okay, the transition completely tripped yourself up, but that's fine. The initial discussion line is that PS4 load times have been drastically improved ahead of the PS5 launch. What are your thoughts, Bib?
Why now? That's my immediate thought. Why is it taking them for a new console generation to nearly come out, for them to be able to improve load times on the current gen consoles? It just, like, for the using the biggest example in there, The Last of Us loading screen taking over a minute for it to be able to load, and we've had that obviously since the PlayStation 3, and now the new consoles come out on the PlayStation 4, you're now loading 14 seconds. Why is it taken for the new console to nearly come out for them to be able to reach that? It's it feels weird. It feels like, in that terms, it's probably a lazy port from the old one. They've just remastered some of the assets, the textures, and things like that. But everything else, they just left alone. Like, they didn't try and improve the performance or the loading screens and the time taken to be able to get the most out of the current hard drive that's in there. It it feels weird.
I mean, it seems like, I mean, this is only speculation as it mentions within the article. It's been speculated that the updates could be introducing new compression techniques in addition to pairing support for the PS5, but this is not confirmed and would likely result in huge downloads. I mean, if we've not had huge downloads, then I mean, surely it can't be that then. I mean, if whatever the other game that was referenced in there is Concrete Gene, which had no update, was it?
Yeah.
Oh no, that one was tracked. It was Until Dawn. That was it. Until Dawn has also seen loading screens virtually removed entirely, but there's been no update for that. So if there's no massive update, how can that stuff? Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand where this has come from. One thing I do understand though is that Ferno is in the chat and he says, "Baby, gives the tune. Baby, gives the tune."
I will learn how to do like happy birthday or something like that just for you when you turn up. So it'd be your birthday every day that you turn up, and I'll play you a quick tune.
See, I feel like now you've said happy birthday, I feel like you need to learn two tunes. One for Ferno, and then you need to do a happy birthday one, so that when it's a subscriber birthday, you have to play ding, 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 ding.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that could be a Channel Sprinkles point. It could, absolutely.
Morning, Ian. Happy Monday. I thought you said happy birthday then. I read that. I was like, happy birthday? I was like, who? Happy Monday. Ugh. Do you know what? Monday, it's the start of a countdown to Friday. There you go. There's a bit of positive outlook for you. Gary says, yeah, I'm with Bibby. Why did they wait if they knew they could do it anyway? Very strange. It is bizarre. I'm trying to think. There is no reason for them to do this. I mean, you look at other industries or other things where you can extrapolate the kind of logic. Look at smartphones. Smartphones change their speed at the end of a generation, but they get slower. So, like, you have an iPhone. Obviously, it doesn't happen as much anymore because it's illegal now, and they've admitted to it. But you have an iPhone. You get to the end of the generation, suddenly everything's sluggy because you've got the new software which is throttling your phone to save your battery life, not to force you into buying a new one. But that, even though it's underhanded and shit, you can see the logic. It's okay. I'm going to make this really painful to use so that you spend money on upgrading to the next phone, which locks you into my ecosystem for another 24 months. There's logic there, but for PS4, who believe in generational upgrades, they believe that jumping to the next generation, the biggest benefit of moving to the next generation is that speed, that SSD, the compression technologies that are in there. That is the point of jumping to the next generation. So it kind of seems, in that sense, counterintuitive to go, hey, all the games that you're going to play super faster on the next generation, yeah? Well, you can play them super fast here. Oh, okay. I mean, it's not all the games for the next generation. It is all the games for the current generation. But yeah, it seems such a bizarre point of a product lifecycle to release this update. I don't understand the logic. Gary says maybe the Sony devs were like, lads, remember that thing that was meant to do on PS4 games in 2015? We forgot, so we better press that button now. oh shit! You've not pressed the make games faster button. God damn it!
So someone at Sony would just be playing it for the first time and going, Jesus, these load screens are... I thought we'd sorted this out. Terry, I thought you'd sorted this. And he's like...
Terry, the work experience kid, yeah. sat there with his dad's suit on. You didn't tell me to press it. You said be ready. You didn't say go. I mean, Terry's been on work experience for 5 years. School don't know where he's gone. Fuck's sake, Terry. God damn it, Terry. Salty Dog says, could they see this as like a demo? How quick they will be on the next... That's a good taste.
But why would you make a demo of one of the biggest games that you've got, or first party games, now at the end of it? Like, it's weird. It's weird. Why? I don't know. Obviously, we don't know the thought process, but I don't understand why. Wait, I've just thought about something. Are we gonna see The Last of Us remastered for the third time being put on the PlayStation 5 as like a double combo? So you're gonna get The Last of Us 2 and 1 in a remastered package for the PlayStation 5 at some point.
The collection.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really not The Last of Us then, because it was The Last of Us 2 times ago. I mean, this it's definitely still not the last. God damn it, boys.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I like trying to strum my head through it. Salty Dog says maybe they see it as a demo for the next gen. The only thing I could think is these decompression. Like, what was the phrase that they used? I've lost it again now. Decompression, new compression techniques. So the only thing I can think is these new compression techniques have either just come out of the next gen stuff and they've gone, oh shit, didn't even think that this was a possibility. We've got this new thing now. Well, we might as well throw it out because it's never in there. Or the new compression techniques were always possible but required such an investment in terms of time and resources that it was never really going to be possible to do it cost effectively. Unless you're planning for the new generation, then that cost is absorbed by that. So the next generation has unlocked more potential as a side effect of the next generation. So this isn't necessarily something they were going for. In planning and building for the next generation, they've created something that the current generation could benefit from. And if that is the case, that is a nice update to just pass that out for free, because in theory Sony could just go, okay, well, the old generation, current generation as it still is technically for a short time more, is pretty much dead. Do we continue to support this now, or do we just leave it and give it quality of life improvements, like keep it comfy on life support but not really add to it? The fact that they've just gone, here's a whole new lease of life, is still quite remarkable, because if games suddenly start to load massively fast, I mean, obviously these are just first party games, but if that technology is then something that could be modularized and shared with Ubisoft and Konami and Bethesda, well, not Bethesda because Xbox awkward, but passing it out to other people, if they can do that, then that's a good thing. I mean, it could help with the next generation too.
Yeah. I think, like what you just said there and what Asim's saying, that again could make a lot of sense if they have come to work on other games, first party games, on the PlayStation 5, and they've come across something, they go, actually, will that work for the PS4? And some bloke has just gone over, or woman's gone over to the PS4 and started to code it out a little bit.
Maybe Terry's come good.
Yeah, maybe Terry's come. Yeah, exactly.
Go on,
he's
Terry.
learned a new technique. He's jumped straight back onto the PlayStation 4, added a little bit of source coding, changed a few ones to a few zeros, and boom, you shaved 45 minutes off your loading screen. The guy Terry's going to being hailed as a hero. He's going to get rose petals thrown at the foot. He's going to get a guard of honor every time he walks through the door.
Chocolate oranges because he invented those too. Good lad, Terry.
But yeah, it's I just think it's either extremely weird that they're just deciding to do it now, or they're just learning more stuff as they go along. But it's 5 years after the game came out, especially on PlayStation 4, that's a bit weird.
It's not even the 5 years after the game; it's 7 years after the console. Because if it's happening across games, it's like you being on your deathbed and someone going, "Babe, I know you've not got long left. I know the light is getting dark and you're starting to get cold. But I forgot to tell you that you're actually a superhero and you can fly." You're like, what the fuck? Boom, boom, ba-dum, bum, ba-dum. You've been like heartbroken. It's just like, you're actually Superman, you can move really fast. The fuck? Why did you not tell me this?
Never unlocks my true potential. But I mean, it's when it comes to console generations, we tend to get some absolute bangers towards the end of a console generation that actually pushes the console to its absolute limit. Never did I think that 5 years after The Last of Us Remastered on the PlayStation 4 came out, that this would be pushing the console to its absolute limits.
I mean, still a wonderful, wonderful game. So if any game deserves it,
it is. Yeah.
Jumping in the chat, David says, actually, jumping up, Gagad says, I work with a lot of Terrys. They are the bane of my life. It depends. I mean, are we talking like Dad Suit Terry, or are we talking Console Savior Terry? It depends. Gary says, haha, good old Terry in his dad's suit. Hey, what a guy. It could be a GPU, CPU overclock with a console update that might explain until dawn speed boost, says David. Potentially. There was an update to the system recently. Maybe it was within that. You'd have thought people would have looked into that, though. But then again, maybe not. Maybe we just thought it right for them. Gaggard says, and they all get paid more than me. God damn it, Terry. Mr. T says, I guess from a coding point of view, they would have learned from a lot from the PS4 gen to optimize. Plus, given PS5 is coming, they've probably got some new knowledge / techniques that benefit PS4. That's where this update comes from, I guess. I was trying to make sense of it. Yeah, I mean, that's obviously, Bibby's mentioned that similar to the comments just made then. But yeah, I think it has to be. Surely it has to be that, because they wouldn't be investing that much time, effort, and money into delivering something at this point of the generation on purpose. Yeah, and if they could have done it without investing a lot of time, effort, and money, then it should have been done a lot earlier in the generation. So the only logical explanation for me would be that it wasn't something they planned to do. It's something that is here, and they thought, well, we might as well. Gary says, very good point. Getting familiar to the hardware is a natural thing throughout the life cycle of a platform. Very similar to how graphics and mechanics improve over the years as well, I suppose. Yeah, 100%. 100%. And it could be a case of they've changed their systems. It could be changing the systems in terms of remotely. Could emphasize, could lead to a lot of that. Or it could be something that changes something remotely, just turns on light bulb for the moment for the people that are developing on the console. They can go, actually, I didn't even realise that we could do this on the console, so you don't even need to be online for it to be a wonderful thing. But either way, whatever the reasoning for it is, it seems bizarre to patch in loading times that are this drastic. Let me bring the article back on screen again. I'm not going to click on the video, but The Last of Us before 1 minute 30 and 0.1 seconds. After 13 seconds. That is huge change. Whatever the reasons for, let's just enjoy it. Yeah, nice. If you aren't jumping to the next generation yet, if you can't get yourself a PS5 at launch, then there's a lot of life still in the PS4. A lot more life than there was just a few days ago from the sounds of it, so enjoy that. Madge, good morning, Madge. It's been a while. How are you doing, dude? So jumping in late, but sounds like a way of ensuring easier PS4 backwards compatibility with future PS5 titles. Good point. Very good point. I mean, there is a lot of input being put in. There's a lot of input being put into. A lot of time being spent investigating how PS4 games can be played on the PS5, because obviously was it like 99% of the PS4 games will be playable on the PS5, but it's not just a native thing in terms of they will step up. I mean, it even mentioned in this article that Sony's claimed that the overwhelming majority of the 4,000 plus PS4 games are playable on PS5. However, it notes that some functionalities, blah, 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 not quite working. So it's not a like-for-like jump. So they will have had to invest some time into making sure that backwards compatibility works. And not only does it work, it could push things to the next degree. As it said, some games will also benefit from the PS5 console's game boost. So I imagine it'll be something in that sort of area, the game boost technology, and jumping from last gen to next gen. In that process of learning, something within there has gone, okay, well, the game boost stuff can be applicable to this. And also, in applying the game boost stuff, we realise that if we line our ones and zeros in this specific way, then it will load faster. I mean, obviously, I'm not a dev, as you might be able to tell from the way I described that then, but yeah, you're probably on something there, Madge. Daniel agrees. He says it's going to be something with their previously announced smart download and data loading system. Yeah, I mean, something in there. Madge says apparently a lonely list of 10 titles won't work. That must be crushing for those dev teams. I know, imagine like you've made a game for the PS4. You're absolutely high-fiving your family. Your little nephew like stands there with his hand out for you to run past and hit him on the way past. Yeah, can't wait to play your game on the PS5. Uncle Terry. And Terry's like, oh, stood there in his dad's suit. Well, it's not gonna be. But all of the games, like all but 1%. Yeah, but I'm in the 1%. Oh no, poor Terry. Anyway, let's put a pin in that. Let's move on to other games that will be playable on the next gen. This one is quite close to home for me, as PUBG will be on the Xbox Series X and S, as well as the PlayStation 5. So this is taken from the PUBG website. This is an update that was shared, I believe, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I read it. It was either this morning or yesterday. I can't remember. It all blurs into one. Anyway, jumping into the article, it says, "Hello, survivors. A big question that we've seen in the last few months is what our plans are for PUBG on the next generation of consoles. Today, we're happy to announce that PUBG will be playable on the Xbox Series X, Xbox Series S, and PlayStation 5 from day one." Yeah, boy. If you're a current gen PUBG console player, you'll be able to continue playing the game on your next gen consoles at no extra cost with the same PUBG account you've been playing on all this time. All of your game account progress and cosmetics will carry over with no interruptions. In addition to PUBG being playable from day one on next gen, we will also be supporting cross-generation multiplayer alongside cross-platform play. This means that players on Xbox One, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5 consoles will be able to squad up and play against each other on that battlefield, which is nice. Please see below for specifics around performance and technical details. Xbox Series X and S. The Xbox Series X will leverage the Xbox One X game build. The game will run at 60 FPS by selecting the frame rate priority option. The Xbox Series S will leverage the Xbox One S game build, which runs at 30 FPS. We are working to provide an option to raise the frame rate cap on Xbox One S and Xbox Series S consoles in the future. PlayStation 5. PlayStation 5 will leverage the PS4 Pro build by selecting the frame rate priority option. The game will run up to 60 FPS. Frame rate priority option releases on live servers for Xbox One X and PS4 Pro with the October 9.1 update. After rigorous testing, we're pleased to say that the game performance is extremely smooth and stable, with faster loading and little to no frame drops thanks to the power of next gen. For more information on backwards compatibility, please visit the official PlayStation and Xbox websites. Game performance and stability is a priority for us. We want to thank everyone for their support. This is an exciting time for console players everywhere, and we hope to ring it in with you with plenty of chicken dinners. See you on the Battlegrounds PUBG console team. Bib, thoughts?
Well, as someone who isn't the leading expert on this, I've only got one good thing to say about this. I know you've me and you discussed this morning, but I'll leave you to speak about the technology side of things. But for me, it's good that it's finally been announced that it's going to be playing. This is going to be coming to the new gen consoles. We've had every other every other battle royale confirmed that they will be on the PS5. This seemed to be the last one, which is interesting. But yeah, I mean, even H1Z1 and Cuisine Royale were announced to come into the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X before this was. So I'm glad that it's finally been announced that it's coming over there and we're going to get something for it. But when it comes down to the technical standpoint, I don't think I'm the person to be talking about this. This is definitely 110% your Battlefield, shall we say.
Yeah, my Battlegrounds. Hey.
Oh, I said half the fucking joke. Do you know what I mean? Why didn't I finish it off? But, yeah,
sorry, I know what you're going for. I finished it for you. It's fine. You got this. Do you know what I'm just doing? Where is it? I'm trying to find.
Comment.
Yeah,
we'll stop going.
Trying to find the clip of it.
All right.
Okay, bear with me. Talk amongst yourselves for just a second whilst I add
well, Salty Dog says straight off the bat that cross-gen shortly has to be a disadvantage with previous gen players. I actually had that opinion. I think with the tech specs, it was mentioning that if you are playing on a PlayStation 4 Pro and this new console, you will be optimized to 60 frames a second. What that means for the base PS4 players and the Xbox One players, I have absolutely no idea. But I mean, if you play on an Xbox Series S and then play against someone who's playing on a Pro, you're already at a massive disadvantage because half the walls and the world doesn't actually load in until maybe 10-15 seconds after you hit the ground. So you could be walking into what you assume is a wall, but it's not.
I'm just adding the discussing now title bit. I've just added a command as well as that. So we now have a command called !smoke, which when you do it, you can see the clip of me getting mildly annoyed. There we go. PUBG on Xbox Series X and S and PS5 is the discussing now slate. Okay, for me, Let's tick off a couple of things then. Let's jump through. So first thing it mentions is that crossplay is in there. That plays the Xbox One, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, and PS5. So Xbox One, Xbox One S, Xbox One X, PS4, XS, and 5. That's a lot of consoles to factor in. Obviously, there will be differences. There definitely is differences in terms of playing on a PS4 versus a PS4 Pro, on a standard chunky Xbox versus the Xbox One X kind of thing. Well, Xbox One, not the chunky Xbox, because that's a completely different ballgame. But yeah, there is differences. But the fact that they all play together, that is huge. I love the fact that me on my shiny new PS5, which can support smoke nades, as opposed to my PS4 Pro, which clearly doesn't have enough thermal paste in there, I can play against Terry on his dad's Xbox One. Not X or S, just the standard Xbox One. God damn it, Terry, honestly. So we can play together. Different generation, different console family. We can play together and jump into the same squad. I know that's cross-play. That's not anything brand new. But the fact that it is coming in, I love that idea. I love that, so that's nice. Then we start to get into the discussion based on what is the better plan for consoles. Because we've had a conversation previously of what is the better idea. Do you develop your console norm like the PS5 and then build on that? So like PlayStation did with the PS4, you have the PS4 and then you can go better with the PS4 Pro, so anything from PS4 can improve on it? Or do you start off at your peak level like Xbox with the Series X and then drop to the Xbox Series S? The issues with doing it the Xbox way, I mean, the good thing is it's accessible cost-wise. You have a cheaper console that the lower end of the market can buy into. The issue that you do have with that, though, is the way that those games are being developed. There are two strings. You've got the S string and the X string on the new generation and the current generation. So Xbox One X games that have been enhanced for the One X, are going to be playing on the Series X. Games that work on the S will play on the Series S. The downside for that is a lot of the optimizations for the One X, those were the groundwork steps towards the next generation. So if you want to play at a solid 60 FPS on a Series X, that's fine. You want to play as a solid 60 FPS on a Series S. The console generation hasn't been built with that in mind. So PUBG naturally comes out on the next generation console running at 30 FPS, whereas the One X can get up to 60 FPS. So that's where it starts to get. You start to get into that muddy water then of people could be like, yeah, well the game surely should be running at 60 FPS on the next generation. I mean, it does on the Series X, but yeah, what is the better system? Do you create a system that allows people to get into the bottom end, or creates not the bottom end but creates a new lower bottom end? So the PS5's bottom end is standard. The Xbox bottom end is different from one console to the other. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I'd have to let this fester a little bit. Maybe over the course of this stream, my opinion might develop. I'm not sure where that is.
Yeah.
Hayes says PUBG confirmed on PS5. Yeah, yesterday. I mean, it was kind of always going to happen. I always believed there is no way that the game wouldn't come out as it is on the PS5. Even though nothing was announced, you kind of assume that's going to be the case. So the fact that I can play the same game that I am currently playing with all of the skins and all of the season passes, and my PlayStation is not going to explode when someone lobs a smoke grenade at me. That's fine. That's fine.
That's always the best part.
So I'm happy with that. The difference is I'm on the PlayStation console family, so that's an easier transition for me. Those on the Xbox obviously have more options and decisions to make.
Just coming back in a second, I need to open the back door, the back gate, because the window cleaner has just scared the living shit out of me. climbing up to this window way, and I forgot to hold about 2 seconds.
Okay, I'll jump through the chat. It's like that Simpsons episode where Bart pinpoints Ralph's heartbreaking. You could do the same here with Graham. It's the oh no. Yeah, that's it. Heartbreak. If you haven't seen the clip, feel free to watch it. It happened twice. It happened then. So that was on for the 3P, that clip. For those of you that are listening on demand later on, there is a clip in the chat of me in a duos game on PUBG, my PS4 just doesn't have enough thermal paste in it. So certain things can make the PS4 overheat. I say certain things, it's only ever happened in PUBG, but that's the thing I play the most, so obviously. Anyway, getting down to the final 4 players, 2v2, 3'd out, and it was on for a 3-peat to win 3 games in a row live on stream, and my PS4 overheated and died. And then it happened like 2 days later in a 2v2. Well, actually, it was a 1v1 in that point, but it was still duos. Anyway, the other guy clearly knew it was an issue because he threw about 5 smoke nades, and my PlayStation just buggered off, and I ran off into the blue and died. So yeah, there you go. Anyway, that's the first time I've seen that clip, says Gary. Well, enjoy it. Graham with the live service upgrades a la PS5. The chunky box from Yorkies. I don't remember that. You have to share it. What's hotter, Graham's PS4 Pro or Bibby's rendition of Robbie Williams? Whilst Bibby's rendition was hot, my PS4 Pro, I think, was constructed with actual magma, so potentially that. Daniel says, from my perspective, 2 consoles is an absolute nightmare. I was praying that Xbox didn't go this route again this year. Also worth bearing in mind that this is first steps and more will come as we collect average frame rate data and look at where changes can be made. Absolutely. Here says Bluehole are apparently working on up to 60 FPS for standard consoles. And Daniel says, not Bluehole, Crafton. Yes, it's Crafton Games Union now. But yes, I mean, we're not even there yet. So I've seen quite a bit of negativity around this, to be fair. Scratching my hair. Seen quite a bit of negativity in terms of the next generation not allowing 30 FPS. Obviously, as of the news that has been confirmed. But I think it's kind of hard in terms of how can you badge that onto the third-party content creators. First parties are the ones that are obviously developing the content and the systems for them. You can't have a go at Ubisoft or Krafton or Konami or Asim at 2K. We can't have a go at those guys for not knowing how an unannounced system will work, how their content will work on an unannounced system. I fully expect things to change, and I think that will be something that Xbox themselves will be actively working on in terms of bridging a little bit of the gap between the S and the X. Obviously, you want the differences between the consoles. There needs to be a USP for having the X over the S, so what's the point? But having the consoles launch and having the One X enhanced games playing on the X, the Series X, I think you'll see a lot more of a focus on bringing the Series S in line in some elements of that, whether it be frames per second or whatever. I think you will see a lot more of that. So yeah, whilst that is what it is now, I do believe that will change. Daniel says, I would rather underpromise and overdeliver than overpromise. 100%. Why would you want to set yourself up for a fall? You're better off giving someone a service that works perfectly and then giving them the rest of it that's even better, rather than going, okay, well, we're going to try, and even if you're not even promising, even if you kind of try, in the world of video game marketing, trying something off the bat is as good as promising. You could go, okay, we're not sure how this is going to work, so we're going to just go. Unless you are in a clear beta version of something, people will take it as gospel, as that is the finished product. You have your first impression, it is sour, you don't get a chance to make a second first impression. So yeah, it's absolutely the logical thing. I have seen comments of people saying if you are a PUBG console content creator that's going for the Series S, then you're better off getting a One X. I mean, there's all sorts of questions in there. There's all sorts of variables. I mean, the first thing for me is if you're a PUBG console content creator, I'd be going for the X anyway. If that's what your aim is, your output is. But obviously, that's that's a very specific answer because budget could come to mind. But if budget does come to mind, then yeah, there's all sorts of restrictions, and it suddenly becomes a very niche point where you can't tailor for everyone. But I've got a PS5, so it doesn't matter to me anyway. But I don't see an issue. I don't see the issue. I completely agree with the logic of starting small and then add on. If you can get 30 FPS solid, boom. If you can then just drop 60 FPS on a month down the line, 2 months down the line, 6 months down the line, and that is solid, boom. Okay, well, it's fine. We are all on on the same plateau, the same level playing field. That is good. If you want to guarantee the best frames and the best output, then surely the way that you would guarantee that is by buying the better system. If that guarantee is something that you will have an issue in, then you've not invested in the best for yourself. So how can you expect someone to give you the best on something that isn't the best? I haven't paid for the best. It's like going to a fish restaurant, paying for a little jar of mussels and then getting pissed that the person on the table next to you's got that full lobster. You only paid for the mussels. You didn't pay for the lobster. So you can't look at the lobster and be all jealous and shit because you didn't pay for that. Anyway, I don't know where I've fucking got fish restaurants, mussels and lobsters. I don't eat fish unless it's tuna or with chips. So, yeah, there you go. Anyway, so yeah, PUBG will be on the next-gen consoles. And it will be out... let's confirm the dates as well. You don't really need the dates confirming because it kind of explains itself whenever the consoles release. So November 10th, it will be out on the Xbox consoles globally. That's the X and S. November 12th is the PS5 in all of the regions that it launches on the 12th. And then November the 19th, the important one, that's Europe, UK, and basically us. So from November the 19th, I will have the PS5, touch wood. And from then I will be jumping straight onto the PS5 version of PUBG. So nice. Robert Daniel says, invest in the tools to do your job. That's the thing. I mean, if PUBG is your source of, not necessarily income, but source of enjoyment, your main source of enjoyment, then if you rely on it that heavily, then I would absolutely push it to be. Why are you even thinking about the S as opposed to the X? If it's that important to you, then you're setting yourself up for a fall by not building to support your own enjoyment. Anyway, Gagad says, people eat fish without chips? Heretics! I know. Absolutely crazy. Anyway, let's keep moving forward. We have a few more things to jump through, so we'll start to try to pick up the pace now as we jump forward. Sticking with Xbox, though. This article, there we go, it's on screen, written by Alex Calvin for VG247. That's maybe a new name. Hi, Alex. Welcome to the scoop for the first time. Xbox's Spencer teases cloud gaming TV streaming stick. So Xbox... Oh my god, I've done it again. Xbox box. For those of you that haven't been here before, I can't say Xbox... Fuck.
Here we go.
I can't say Xbox boss about 90% of the time. Sometimes I will nail it and then stop talking anyway because I've nailed it and not expect it. But I can't say Xbox. Oh my god! Yes.
Here we go. Here we go. Let Aston do it for you.
Okay. Xbox boss Phil Spencer. Boom! Did it? Start again. Xbox boss Phil Spencer. I've not even got the article on screen, so they don't count. Fuck! Xbox boss Phil Spencer has said that the company could make streaming sticks for its cloud gaming streaming service. In an interview with how do we say that? Strategy. I don't know. In an interview with that place, as reported by The Verge, the Microsoft exec said that it's possible we'll see cheaper tech that can just plug into a TV for use with a streaming platform. And then we have a quote within the article saying, I think you're going to see lower priced hardware as a part of our ecosystem when you think about streaming sticks and other things that somebody might want to just go and plug into their TV and go play via xCloud, Spence said. You can imagine us having even having something that we just included in the Game Pass subscription that gave you an ability to stream xCloud games to your television and buying the controller. The exec also suggested the company could do an Xbox Game Pass Platinum tier, which would include new hardware as well as access to its Game Pass library. Xbox's cloud gaming streaming service, formerly known as xCloud, launched in September after being in beta for almost a year. Ahead of its release, we described it as a next-generation experience in our review. Spencer has said in the past that xCloud isn't designed to replace traditional consoles, but rather was meant to complement this hardware. This service is included in its Xbox Game Pass. Oh, okay, my adverts are plenty, my god. Xbox Cloud Gaming is just one of many game streaming services to hit the market in the last year. Okay, lots and lots of adverts. Okay, Alex Calvin, the last 50% of that article was telling me to look at other articles. Don't need to do that. So, potentially a cloud gaming streaming stick coming from the Xbox boss Phil Spencer. What are your thoughts, babe?
I wish I would have timestamped one of our episodes from like 9 or 10 months ago when I said that this would be an absolutely amazing idea for them to be able to do. I've come up with this idea. I told you that they watch this and listen to this podcast each and every weekday at 10 a.m. ish.
Ish.
Yeah. But I said this would be absolutely something for them to be able to go down. I think it's an absolute no-brainer. Create something like a Fire Stick that's extremely portable. Obviously, we've had the Stadia Chromecast where you can just plug it in. I mean, they ran hot. Like, I don't know if that's something, it was a manufacturing fault or what, but they were mm, well, they're creating a new one that you can play Xbox Stadia at, but not until next year. I think Gary was in here mentioning that last week. But yeah, said creating something like a portable stick, like you can get PCs and little Intel created the little PC sticks, can't they? So there's no reason why they can't do this. Where literally you plug it in and Xbox Game Pass is your operating system. You can play it wherever you want. Just take your controller, take your dongle. Basically the same as Stadia, but it works. It's a business model that I think if you was to buy the stick for, I don't know, for 40 quid, if you want to buy the combo, the controller and the stick for 80 quid, 100 quid you can have Xbox Stadia for the year, Xbox Game Pass for the year, 100 quid bundle. You can't really argue with that, can you? It's a known product. The product works. The controller is expensive. The unit would be expensive, and you're getting all that for maybe one.
BB?
It's still cheaper than Stadia.
Oh, he's back. He's back. You say you get that for maybe 100 quid and it's cheaper than Stadia. It dropped out a little bit then.
Yeah, something along them.
Okay. Yeah, this, as mentioned, we kind of shared all these thoughts a long while back. This isn't surprising, especially with the fact that, was it a Samsung thing where Samsung TVs, you bought a new Samsung TV, and you could choose 2 or 3 entertainment apps to get either subsidized or free for 6 months or something, and that included things like Netflix, Prime Video, and so on. But one that was in there was Xbox xCloud, or was it Game Pass? I think it was
Game Pass, yeah.
So the fact that TVs don't even need sticks, this doesn't surprise me because it's the same thing. They would just essentially have everything built into the TV to allow this sort of to happen. Maybe you've got a TV that's a couple of years old. Mine's not an old TV, but it's not a brand new TV, so mine probably won't be able to do this stuff. Maybe, but if it can't, that's fine. I can just plug a dongle into it. Nice. So it doesn't surprise me whatsoever to see this kind of direction, and this is something that Xbox has been doing for a while. And the quicker they get rid of the box, the easier it is that I can say stuff about their system without cocking it up, because it's not the Xbox boss, it'll be the X boss. There we go. Just call it the X. Get rid of the box. That's fine.
The X stick.
Speaking of X stick, in the chat, Magic Man says Xbox X stick. Daniel says X Stick Series X or the X SSX, to which Magic Man says EA lawyers will be all over that last one. The X SSX, oof, that's tricky. For those who don't know, SSX tricky is a snowboarding game. Just saying. Nice. So it doesn't surprise me. Obviously, he's only talking figuratively, and this is kind of like off the cuff conversational chat, which Phil Spencer does like to do. He has said previously that the downside of being someone like him is he can't just speak from his own opinion without it being taken as gospel. And he does like to speak from his own opinion. That said, he is still very PR briefed. He is still very PR considerate. So he will say stuff that is not going to fan the flames, unlike Alex Hutchinson from Stadia, for example. But the fact that he's saying this and he's comfortable saying this, I don't necessarily think is him saying this is coming, but I also do think this is him saying this is coming. I don't necessarily think he's saying this is coming now, or this is a PR beat where they're setting up the feel of it to be coming in the future very soon. I think this is something they probably are working on, and it's something they will probably build up to, but it's not something that's going to be held close to their chest and secretly guarded like the Xbox Series X and One X, Series X and S details. So yeah, I would not be surprised to see this coming at all. This could stick if they went with it. That's actually quite like that one. GG. That was the correct game I was referencing. Yes! I got that reference. Captain America meme. There's another one of the gifts that we need to make up. Private conversation off stream with Bid. But anyway, let's move forward. So, this all happened on Friday after we had finished the scoops for last week. So you will probably seen quite a bit of news from this. Some of it is old. But it's huge news. So we're looking at it anyway. I mean, I did find a way to tie it to PUBG on social media as well last week because, why not? But Nolan North has been pictured visiting the Uncharted movie set. This is written by Tom Ivan last week for VGC. And there is an update as Tom Holland has shared the first image of him playing Nathan Drake. So Nolan North, who portrays Nathan Drake in PlayStation's Uncharted game series, has been pictured visiting the set of the upcoming film. Images posted on Twitter show North chatting with Spider-Man star Tom Holland, who's playing Drake in the upcoming movie. Holland also previously chatted with Naughty Dog Vice President and Uncharted 4 co-director Neil Druckmann, who said the film set looked insane. Directed by Ruben Fleischer, Venom and Zombieland, the Uncharted film is scheduled for release on July 16th, 2021. Rather than following the plot of the games, which have sold over 41 million units, the movie, that's almost as many album sales as Bibby's Robbie Williams covers, by the way, just saying. Go on Billy, and Billy and Robbie Williams as well. Anyway, the movie will tell a prequel story featuring Nathan Drake as a young treasure hunter learning from his mentor, Victor Sullivan, which is Mark Wahlberg. The movie's cast also reportedly includes Antonio Banderas, Sophia Ali, and Tati Gabrielle. And then a tweet embedded from Nolan North there showing the images. I'm going to have to unfull screen this to see through, but let's have a look through. There we go. Nice. And where did we get to? There we go. Updates. Holland has also shared the first image of him playing Nathan Drake. There we go. 7.3 million likes on Instagram. Not bad. Original story continues. Last month, Holland told fans filming was progressing well and was everything I ever dreamed of. The Uncharted movie is the first feature film from PlayStation Productions, a studio formed by Sony Interactive Entertainment to adapt its original game properties for film and television. The first TV series from PlayStation Productions will be an HBO adaptation of The Last of Us, co-written and executive produced by Chernobyl creator Craig Mazin and Druckmann, the creative director of the game series. So the next article, which is the more recent one, this one came out yesterday, is that Mark Wahlberg offers us the first look at his Sully appearance in the Uncharted movie. Wahlberg is set to star alongside Tom Holland in the video game adaptation. So actor Mark Wahlberg has seemingly offered fans a glimpse of how he'll appear as Sully in the upcoming Uncharted movie. In an Instagram video published on Saturday, Wahlberg sports a mustache, much like that of the Uncharted character, who is mentor to Tom Holland's Nathan Drake. The video is the latest in a week of teasers related to the Uncharted movie, including the first image of... Yeah, okay, we've seen all that stuff too. But yeah.
Don't ask. Don't fucking ask.
There you go. Don't ask. Don't fucking ask. I'm not sure that Sully sounding like a character from the Ted films is kind of what I expected. But there we go. Anyway, Bib. Uncharted. I'm expecting many of the puns in the chat if it hasn't already begun on this. What are your thoughts?
I was going to start with something around it being Uncharted territory, but I think that's a joke that's probably been driven into the fucking ground at this point. But yeah, I mean, I am not a massive super fan of Uncharted. I think I've played the first one and then the one, that Golden Abyss, that was on the Vita, and that pretty much ends my Uncharted affinity. I've got them all because we got given away on PlayStation Plus. I've not really played them. I don't know why. It's just never really sucked me in as a game that, or a franchise that I want to get into. Be that as it may, with my video game taste, then I'd much rather play older shit football games than absolute AAA titles when it comes to Uncharted. But yeah, I'm going to go and watch it because it's got Mark Wahlberg. I like him. I like Tom Holland. It's got Bryan Cranston in as well, I think. And he hasn't been name-checked anywhere, which is interesting.
I didn't realise Bryan Cranston was in it. Interesting. Yeah, we've got name checks for Antonio Banderas, Sofia Ali, Tati Gabrielle, and obviously Holland and Wahlberg too. But yeah, I'm hyped for this. I'm very, very much hyped. Uncharted is one of my favourite video game series ever, so I'm hugely hyped. And seeing the Tom Holland assets, I love that. I genuinely love that. I'll bring the PUBG crossover onto the screen just to show what I was talking about. If I can find it. My God, I tweet so much shit. There we go. So this is the same energy. PUBG X Naughty Dog. So there's PUBG, and there's Tom Holland. It's the same game. Look at that! Wow, it's the same. That is actually the Nathan Drake skin in PUBG for those wondering. But yeah, I'm very, very much hyped for this. I like the idea that they've gone to do something different. It's same but different. It's still Nathan Drake. Yes, he is younger, but somehow he's wearing the exact same clothes that he has when he's older. Is he the kind of person that just likes an outfit, and then when it starts to grow out of it, he buy the exact same outfit again? How does this work? But I get that. They're going for the same visual emphasis, even though he's a younger version. I don't mind it. I like it. I like the fact that they've gone for a different story. They're not trying to just remake the exact same story, which gives them a little bit more creative freedom when it comes to it. I just hope that we don't get like all video game crossovers into films. Shit. I highly doubt that is the case though. I think if there is one video game studio that knows how to tell stories, it is Naughty Dog. They, by far, in my opinion, are the best storytelling studio in all of video game development. So I'm hugely on board with them being able to tell stories. And what they've done, obviously, The Last of Us and Uncharted, two really, really good story franchises from the same studio. The fact that same developer, the fact that they tell stories more than we used to get in the past. I think video games films obviously have a bit of a tarnished reputation, should I say. They've always been shit. Let's face it, video game films are shit usually.
Wait, so you're telling me that you don't like the Resident Evil films that came out? I've never been more offended in all my life.
The first one was okay. The rest of them, dog wank. Absolute ass. And even the first one was okay because I was young. I reckon if it came out now, I'd be like, oh, okay, this loud and
yeah, don't watch it now. The CGI is terrible. When the liquor comes out, the big.
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it kind of recently. Bad. I mean, but I can take that with a pinch, knowing what it was. But if I watched I watched it for the first time, but I was as old as I am now. But back then, I'd probably be like, oh, okay, this just doesn't have the depth to it. It's just so. Yeah, hopefully they can do that. The difference is the storylines of Resident Evil and things like that back in the day were really good, but you also filled in a bit of the blanks and stuff with it. Whereas, obviously, because of the resources that can be put into video games and storytelling and emotion and all of that stuff that can actually be displayed on the screen, you are playing a movie. So I think it's easier to stop Hollywood from fucking it up now. That said, Hollywood is very, very powerful. It's a huge, strong machine, so there's a very good chance that Hollywood could just go, yeah, no, we are going to fuck this shit up with our decisions. Yeah. And I think Mark Wahlberg is an example of one of those kind of decisions for me. Mark Wahlberg was meant to be Nathan Drake. I don't think he made a good Nathan Drake, if I'm being honest. I like Mark Wahlberg, but he's got a very set style. He's the same person in every film for me. So I wouldn't have liked him as Nathan Drake. I think it's even more of a stretch trying to have him as Sully. Sully, for those that don't know, is basically when you watch any film that requires drug dealers or whatever in Miami, then there's always one old white guy with a bit of a beer belly, white shirt, top buttons undone, hair slicked back and a mustache with a cigar in his hand. That is Sully. He's that stereotypical character. Mark Wahlberg is not that person. Mark Wahlberg is the guy that he's the star and he's a rapper and he's big and he's muscly and he runs and he jumps off things. That's not what Sully does. So I feel like he's only got this role because Hollywood needed someone's name in that thing. Sort of, and he was tied to it.
I love him, mate.
I don't dislike him. I wouldn't say he's my favourite actor of all time. I don't mind watching him, but he's the same person pretty much. He's like, he's always...
Have you seen the other guys?
No. I don't know
if you haven't seen the other guys, you need to see the other guys. It's probably up there with like my top 5 comedies of all time. It's Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell, but at the beginning is Samuel L. Jackson and The Rock as well. It's just one of the best films ever. I'm not joking. It's amazing.
I watched something like last week with him in. He was like a cop that was sent to prison for beating up his boss or something, and then he came out and he was trying to like undo some dodgy cop stuff. It was either on Netflix or Prime. It was okay, but
what was that called? It wasn't Jack Reacher. It was something similar to that. What was that called?
I don't know.
It was on Netflix earlier this year, but that with Mark Wahlberg, and that was an amazing film.
But yeah, it was okay. But he was not too far away from anything else that he's ever been. Transformers, the character in Transformers isn't too far away from Mark Wahlberg in that film. One of them has bent cops, the other one has intergalactic robots, and he's still the same kind of person. Then you put him in Ted. One of them has bent cops, one of them is intergalactic robots, one of them is talking teddy bear. He's still the same person. So yeah, I mean, I don't mind him. I like all of those films. I will watch all of those films. I like Transformers more than most people should do, to be fair, because a lot of them aren't the greatest films. But
Three Kings as well, amazing film.
Yeah, it's another one like it's same person. So
Spencer Confidential, that was it.
That was it. One? Yeah, Spencer Confidential. That was the one. David says, I still think Nathan Fillion should have at least have a cameo because his fan film was awesome. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him as some form of cameo. And Gary has actually mentioned something else that I did want to mention as well. Nolan North has a cameo in the movie, I reckon, as the shirt Nolan is wearing is what Drake's concept car was wearing originally before they changed it. So that sort of like raglan baseball tee kind of thing. Yeah, that was Nathan Drake's first character styling. So the fact that he's wearing that in that shot, I'll bring this back on screen. It's only the header image, so it's a little bit blurry, but it'll do. The fact that he's wearing this in this shot, wrong discussion. Nah, get out of here. Means that he's either just coincidentally worn that, he's there on request of Naughty Dog, who've asked him to wear that, or he is featuring in the content himself, and that is part of the reason for it. Either way, I don't believe that's an accident. That can't be an accident. But yeah, Nathan Fillion, I had a conversation with someone on social media the other day, and I shared that video that you shared with me. I think Nathan Fillion has aged out. Someone said, I still think he should be Drake, and it's like, yeah, but Nathan Fillion's like 49 now. Nathan Drake, even at the end of it, was not 49, so there's a difference there. Yeah. I think if we'd done it 10, 15 years ago, I don't see a world where Mark Wahlberg should be being discussed as Nathan Drake when Nathan Fillion exists, and that's what they were doing 10, 15 years ago, because Mark Wahlberg is a much bigger ticket-selling actor than Nathan Fillion ever has been. I understand it, but that's Hollywood. That's Hollywood's decisions there. Is we think Mark Wahlberg will be better for sales, and it's like, yeah, but it's not the better content, it's not the better story, and I hope Uncharted doesn't get Hollywooded throughout. I'll take Mark Wahlberg as Sully with a pinch. I won't say that I hope it finishes with that role being unsullied. Sorry, I apologise. But yeah, as long as we keep it a video game idea rather than a Hollywood idea, then I think we'll be fine. There's so much in there, so much story, so much to pull from, so many characters, so much that has been created that it will take a monumental effort to make it a shit film. It absolutely could be. Hollywood has previous, but they have to fuck up for this to be bad. Gary Clark hates Uncharted 2, baby, don't worry. Should be a decent movie. The Uncharted story has all the hallmarks of a good blockbuster movie. Good cast and decent director too. Absolutely, it's a playable movie. The whole Uncharted collection, playable movie. Me and Danielle played through them together. I might even go back to them. I don't revisit games, but I might go back to those at some point. Really, really well. I mean, the first one hasn't aged the best, but it's still really good. And anything after the first one is, you could take it as it's a current game. It's that good. Agreed, I'm so hyped to see it, as Tom Holland looks fantastic and is a huge fan of the series, which is always a good thing. See, I heard that too, but I always think every footballer always wants to play for their boyhood club when they get signed as well. So is he a fan of the series? I don't know. Maybe. It could be, but I don't know. I always take those comments as PR bullshit. It probably not, but you never know. Mortal Kombat was brilliant. To be fair, I love Mortal Kombat, so I'll give you that one. The Other Guys is quality. Yes, great film. Mark is good in that. The Other Guys is one of the worst films I've ever had the misfortune to suffer through, says Match. The movie he was in about the Boston Marathon bombings was good as well. See that? Something about Boston, it's absolutely got to be Mark Wahlberg because he's the same person. Yeah, fine. But as Sully, I'm not so sure about that one. I'm happy to be proven wrong. I will go in with no prejudice. But as of now, I think it's almost like he's signed a pre-contract and he doesn't fit in that role anymore, so they've pushed him into a different one to keep him there, as well as the ticket sales. But yeah, there you go. Personally, I saw David Harbour, the cop from Stranger Things, as Sully, but let's see how Mikey Mark does. I agree with that. I agree. I think David Harbour looks more like Sully from the video games too. Do you know? I might even be able to show you. Do you know? I was going to grab one of the special editions behind me because that's got artwork in it. I could show you what Sully looks like, but there's no point. You can look on the internet, it's fine. Right. Mark Wahlberg is our generation Sean Connery. When even playing Russian, he sounds Scottish. Exactly. Hello, Mr. Bondi. How you doing, pally? Yeah, nice. Offend two countries, Graham, in one go. Nice, wonderful. Mark I know we've done that one. I would have had J.K. Simmons. J.K. Simmons. Who's J.K. Simmons? J.K. Simmons. Ah, yeah. I can see that one. J.K. Simmons I see more as being like his character in Spider-Man, a bit blunt and a cunt, a blunt cunt. So maybe a bit too much bluntness there for me. Points to Assassin's Creed film as bad with plenty to work with. Do you know what? That's a very good point. That is a very good point. And they had a very, very good actor leading that as well. In Fassbender, and it was still not a great film. Plus, her wasn't the woman in it the one from Dark Knight Rises as well? So good actress alongside the leading actor as well. So yeah, good storyline, good actor, good actress. Still a bit chonky. Ugh. Anyway, let's finish on a very, very different note. You will have seen this no doubt over the weekend, but just something light to take us to the end of the show. And I say light, it's actually not light. It's very, very heavy, as Microsoft has made a real Xbox fridge based on the popular meme. Influencers receive unique marketing item complete with console boot up music. So Microsoft has made a real Xbox Series X fridge based on a popular meme circulated earlier this year. The promotional items were sent to influencer iJustine and rapper Snoop Dogg and function exactly as a normal fridge would, but with an Xbox Series X design, complete with boot up music upon opening its door. The fridge is based on various memes circulated following Series X's December 2019 reveal, comparing the console's unique design to that of a refrigerator. You knew we had to do this, wrote Xbox marketing boss Aaron Greenberg. Check out the full unboxing of the fastest, most powerful fridge. Launching worldwide on November 10th, blah, 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 about the console. Nice. There you go. Let me just watch the Snoop Dogg video. I want to get to the bit where he opens the door.
Series X.
Oh. Does it have the audio in this? I didn't notice it. No, it doesn't. Great. Okay. We'll click into the iJustine video. Skip. Okay, there's her unboxing it. If you want to see the video, you can check it all out on iJustine's YouTube. We won't steal all of her thunder for this. I'll just see if I can find the bit where we open it. Okay. Unmute. I said unmute. Anytime soon. Okay, there's no audio coming through it. This is great.
Oh, well. The Mario 64 one you're listening to?
It was, yeah. But
there's not much audio anyway. I've got the audio one, but no one's saying anything. You can just hear the sound of the fridge.
Wait. Okay. Oh. Open it.
Lights up.
Open it.
What? Oh my god! It is.
Okay, you couldn't hear it because you were screaming. But there you go. There you go. Xbox Series X fridge. Be prepared to tune in to next week's episode of The Scoop, where we bring you the official Wi-Fi router provided by Sony for all influencers in North America as well. That's absolutely a thing. Well, it should be. Probably not going to be. But you know what? Fair play to Xbox. I appreciate this. This is good marketing. This is turning a negative into a positive. It looks like a fridge. So let's make a fridge. Nice. You can't really fault that. The idea is there. Cost. The fact that they've only made 2 of them, I would say a shitload.
Yeah, and one of them is for Snoop Dogg. Like, do you know what I mean? That's very, very odd, but here we are, 2028.
I mean, Snoop Dogg plays a lot of games. The thing with Snoop Dogg is he plays a lot of games. I maybe I don't know. Maybe I've not seen enough of him. I don't class Snoop Dogg as a gamer. He played NFL against the Doc or whatever it was and beat him. I think it was something along those lines. But yeah, that's because he plays NFL. It's a shit way to describe it now. I'm kind of. He is a gamer, but I don't like see him as a symbol for other gamers, because I don't necessarily think. I think there are people out there that play games more, that shine as beacons of video gaming more than Snoop Dogg. The thing is, Snoop Dogg transcends all genres and has a massive following. So the reason Snoop Dogg gets a fridge is not for me because he's a gamer. It's because he's Snoop Dogg, and the gaming is secondary. So I would have liked to have seen that going to someone that is a primary video game example, as opposed to someone that's secondary. I know Snoop Dogg has Twitch accounts and does play video games and stuff, but even then when he's doing it, he just doesn't live and breathe video games like he lives and breathes the smoke. Literally breathes. David says that's more Russian sounding accent than Conrad did. Just look hunt for Red October. That's true. Let's hope the cooling fan works. Hey! Fair play to Xbox for running with the meme and turning it into something cool. Hey, no pun intended this time. Yeah, I mean, GG to him. And getting green lighting and stuff installed, and the sound effects when you open it. I mean, it is massive. That would not be welcome in my house. I'd be like, oh, that's great. Take it away. Oh, yeah, that's lovely. That's fine. Have you got a waterproof case for it? Well, I'll keep it in the garden and then put it on Facebook Marketplace. So, for sale, one Xbox Series X fridge. I love the idea of it, but that is massive. That is huge. That would... I mean, there's a reason it's been sent to American people, because American houses are big, or bigger from the ones I've seen. Not all of them, obviously. It's a very generalising statement. That wouldn't fit in my Manchester house. No. Manchester kitchens just aren't built for those. At least my part of Manchester, anyway. Salford land. Gagad says, oh my COD. Hey! Yeah. They should have gone with the Yes speaker meme. Would have been cheaper for them. I mean, that's a good point. It's a good point. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe you'll get loads of people just getting... the second batch. So we'll get houses full of Xbox Series X fridges, a couple of Wi-Fi speakers, and like an Amazon Echo, but with Xbox design and stuff installed. Yeah, nice. And then the PlayStation Wi-Fi router job's good, and that's it. House is kitted out with consoles and consoler likes. There we go. You wouldn't want to sell one of those on eBay. Shipping cost £1,000, please. I mean, I'd take it. I'd take £1,000. It's fine. Collection only. It will be suspended if a few years, or superseded in a few years with a smaller, faster one. Yeah, potentially. The Xbox Series X Plus freezer, which goes alongside it. Job's a good one. Anyway, that's enough of chats on that. It's the same size as the PS5. GG, Salty Dog. GG. I appreciate that. That's the end of the show. Thank you everyone for tuning in for another episode of The Scoop. Thank you all for being here. We had a bunch of stories to go through across this gen, next gen, current gen, and the kitchen. Okay.
Wow.
I thought it was good myself. I did that on the fly. I didn't even know I was going to say it, so there you go. Anyway, we'll be back shortly with our next episode of Masters of the League, our modded PC Master League for PES 2020. If you want to tune in for that, then feel free to stick around. We'll be about 15 minutes or so. We're going to get the green screen and everything set up, and we will be back. Just to remind you, if you are new to the channel or to those streams, the Modded Master League is in the mid-season bit now. We're just about to go into season 4, so if you haven't been in any of the previous seasons, it's a perfect time to get involved. You can help us shape the team in that. We are going to bring some new players in, and you guys get involved with all of that. So feel free to stick around, jump in. Nice. A couple of bits to mention. I mentioned them at the start of the show, and I'll mention them at the end. When we hit 2K followers, we will run a giveaway. Our next milestone at 2K followers is very, very close. So if you want to just drop a follow on the channel. If you're new here and you haven't done it already, if you like what you've seen, please feel free to hit a follow. The sooner we get to 2K, the sooner that begins. And if you've gone a step further and subscribed to the channel, we absolutely appreciate the support. Subscriptions allow us to keep doing this sort of thing, so we appreciate anyone that does sub. And as a way of giving back, we have the loot drop. That's our monthly giveaway where we give something back that's exclusive to subscribers of the channel. This month's giveaway is a copy of FIFA 21. So if you want to play some FIFA and you don't want to pay for it, but you've got, I don't know, maybe a Twitch Prime sat there, use your Prime Gaming sub on the channel, and that could bag you a copy of FIFA for free. Nice. Before we disappear though, Bib.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to throw in?
Yes, as always, thank you very much for joining us today. But if there is any video game news knocking around the social media platform of your choice, there's 2 ways to get involved with us. First of all, thank you very much, Madge, for putting the socials in there. That's the first way you can find us. It's, spoiler alert, it's at Ice Cream Uploads across absolutely everything. Second way, find us in our Discord. I appreciate Dave putting in the news, I think, that we covered late last week. I can't remember what it was now, but I remember reading this morning. I think we actually covered that last week. But it's in our Discord.
The Google Stadia dude.
That was it. Yeah, the Google Stadia dude. So yeah, all you need to do is find the scoop in there, drop in the news article, your thoughts and impressions. We will then give you our thoughts and impressions in the very next show, which will be at what time tomorrow, Mr. Graham Day?
We will be live each and every single weekday at 10 a.m. Ish. There's always the ish. Ish. So that's it. You lovely people, have yourselves a fantastic day. If we don't see you back here for Masters of the League in 15, have a fantastic day. And do you know what? If you're not even doing anything, just come and lurk. It's fine. We'll keep you company as you have your lunch. Nice. Have yourselves a fantastic day. Until then, stay frosty.
Stay frosty.